Hello, and welcome to Jason Cavness Experience. I'm your host, Jason Cavness. I'm also CEO and founder of Cavness HR. At Cavness HR, we deliver HR to companies for none for your people. We're also hosting, as part of Seattle Tech Week, Cavness HR, Seattle's Got Tech. Our keynote speaker is Kevin Goldsmith, current CTO of DistroKid, and has a great amount of experience across all types of startups and corporations. He'll be the keynote speaker, and he's selling copies of his book called It Depends, and signed it also. We're going to have 16 tech startups showing demo what they're doing. And one of those people who are demoing for us is here today, Robert Massey. Robert, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
So we're going to talk about your company in a lot of detail, but first, always try to start off with like I call a softball question. Can you tell us like what you do for fun or what your hobbies are?
That's a good question. I'm kind of a boring person. I'm mostly doing startup stuff. I guess trying to get back into shape, so lifting heavy things, putting them back down again. That's one of those things I kind of yo-yo with, but getting back into the rhythm of weightlifting would be a fun one for me.
I mean, last time I checked, round was a shape, right?
Sure.
So you do like any powerlifting or just regular weightlifting?
Just regular weightlifting.
Okay.
Maybe if we get far enough along, think about doing a meet one day in the future, but really more just for getting some exercise and for my health type thing.
Yeah. Do you have like a standard routine you do, like arms on Monday, chest on Thursdays, or?
No, I'm not really. Unfortunately, I'm not really. Consistent enough with it yet. But legs, chest, back, just a rotation like that. So squat, deadlift, bench.
And you said in pre-talk you're originally from Wisconsin.
That's correct.
That's the land of cheese, right?
That's correct.
So is that really that much cheese there? Is it all in on cheese there?
Yes, definitely, that is the case. I don't know. I guess there's all these different cheese making competitions, and people from Wisconsin are routinely the ones who are winning that across Europe or America or wherever they hold those types of things.
So when someone offers you like some craft cheese or Bavaria cheese, like what is this crap here? Like this is like manufactured bullshit.
Well, that's on one hand that's true. On the other hand, I'm not a particularly good Wisconsinite in that department. I actually don't like cheese as much as the median Wisconsinite might. But,
and how long have you been here in the Seattle area?
Yeah, I moved here coming up on 11 years ago when I started my PhD at UW.
All right.
So that'll be 11 years in September.
And you're like a lifetime Green Bay Packers fan?
That'd be correct.
Yeah. They used to have some pretty good games between them and the Seahawks back in the day.
Yeah,
like
true.
Really good ones.
The Fail Mary.
That one. The Fail Mary. Yeah. I'm a big Cowboys fan. I haven't been a trade with my Cowboys yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe been to 3 or 4 Seahawks games. Mm-hmm. It's a good experience, right? Like I tell people, right, you haven't been to a live stadium to be at a Seahawks game, right? It's insanity.
Yeah, I've not been to a Seahawks game. But yeah, plenty of games at Lambeau back in the day.
Amazing. And so, man, that's on my bucket list, right? To see a game at Lambeau. I know it will never come true because here the wait is like 20,000 years long or something to see a game there.
Yeah, the line for tickets is pretty robust.
Like yeah.
If you get your name in now, maybe your children or grandchildren will be able to benefit from it.
I know that I think they hosted a Super Bowl draft party there. Didn't a Super Bowl draft there?
Yeah.
It was like 200,000 people showed up or something.
Yeah, more than the entire city's worth of people flew in.
I know it's been so. I guess this lady, her front yard is right across the stadium. So like, yeah, that's really insane to have a front yard right by Lambeau Field, right?
Yeah, it's a small town, so it's not like it's a big city where you've got the stadium. It's 80 or 100,000 people, I think.
I like for Green Bay, it's like run by a public corporation, right? So there's no chance of any owner like, hey, this market's too small, let's go to somewhere else, right? That team will always be there.
Yeah, a bit different from the situation with other organizations for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's a great thing, right? To me, it's crazy when people want to move stadiums or teams. I mean, I get it, economics and stuff, but still, like, something's kind of lower to, I guess,
Yeah.
So, the name of your company, does it mean anything or just a random name?
No, Astrolabe. So some people say Astrolab and then they get it wrong, and that's fine. I just have to deal with that. I picked, an interesting name for me. Where did I even get it? There's a couple different avenues to it. One is working with one of our partners, Polaris Battery Labs. They're down in the Beaverton area, down in Portland. The idea there, Polaris is a North Star helping battery companies commercialize their technology. We're a software company providing IT infrastructure for battery teams to help scale their technology. So kind of a partnership between us and Polaris is one of the original impetuses for that name.
And so you gotten grants. We're going to talk about how you get like non-dilutive funding in a little bit, but you gotten grants from the Air Force, NASA Science, and to me, there's probably no organizations more farther apart as like cultures like U.S. military and science, right? So how have you kind of like transfixed and like been able to like apply to both places? Mm-hmm. I was former military, so I know how bureaucratic that is. Like, how have you been like kind of like apply to both and being successful at both places?
Yeah, well, I guess I would say my most useful skill from grad school has been putting words in the right order for proposals and grants and all that. So we've been fairly successful in that department. With National Science Foundation, Air Force, a couple other irons in the fire that we've got there. So yeah, that's been a useful at least starting point for getting the seed funding put together for getting things put together and getting things up off the ground. And remind me what the...
And just like how you were successful with the Air Force and the science, which to me is like two totally different cultures.
Yeah. Well, we're still in the process of... That's the next trick we're trying to figure out. We're going from some of these R&D grants to proper commercialization. So actively working on a couple irons in the fire on that front as well. The good thing about batteries is they go into all different kinds of things. So you can think about applying batteries for defense technology, for military technology, batteries for electric vehicles, batteries for backup power. Lots of things are obviously becoming electrified, so it's a hot topic right now. Even as batteries are still going to be important. The reason that different administrations think about batteries are going to frame it differently. So before, with the Biden administration, you talk more about climate change and resilience to that. You're still going to need batteries under the Trump administration, except now instead of climate change, we'll focus more on military resilience and being ready for different missions.
So the SBR process, right? Like you hear all the time, there's billions and billions of dollars the U.S. Department that wants to invest in, startups and companies with no equity. And, they make it sound like it's easy, but it's not easy, right? Mm-hmm. Can you talk about the challenges of going through the whole process, the bureaucracy of it? And there's isn't there like phase 1, phase 2, all these different things you have to do?
Yes. I forget about some of these things, but we can dredge some of that up. You got to do all these different registrations. You got to get all your ducks in a row on the admin side. I'm not very good on the admin stuff, so that's there's
and it's not like they make it easy. It's not intuitive, right? It's like you would think of it like step 1, step 2, but there's like I'll make this up instead of step 1, step 2, it's step 1, step F. It's like very convoluted, right?
Yeah. It is. Once you know what's going on, then you can kind of get into the swing of things. But obviously, it's not an intuitive process. I'm trained as like a physicist and engineer. I can understand things when we're obeying some law of physics. It's a little bit different when you're dealing with human bureaucracy where you just have a rule. It's a rule for the sake of having a rule, or there's something happened to make that rule exist, but not necessarily clear to anyone involved why that we need this signature from this person on this date and all the extra a lot of administrivia to take care of.
It's almost like some random bureaucrats like make up rules to justify their job, right?
Yeah,
I mean, hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully there is a reason they do stuff they do, but sometimes just like
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, this is what we got to do. We'll do it. I'm sure part of it is you can kind of think about it as like a anthropological type of endeavor. Like somebody made this rule for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe the reason that is maybe that reason is no longer applicable anymore, and now we just have this like zombie procedure that we got to go through, or it's just one of those things that something as big as the federal government tends to accumulate bloat in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so for the amount of money you got, was it worth the time and effort I put in? I'm guessing it was.
Yeah, I have to say yes.
Okay. Obviously, it was a lot easier, right? But was it worth the time and effort you had to go through?
Now, once you go through it the first time, you get a lot of the kinks worked out. The first time we applied for an Air Force contract, I would say you'd think grants and contracts are very similar, but in the one of the platforms, I think it was sam.gov, something like that, you have to click a button to say we just want grants, or a separate button to say you want grants and also contracts. And we only had the one button clicked, we didn't have the other button clicked. So because of that one button, we got our first grant rejected. So I had to go reapply, and everything worked out just fine there, but type of thing that had to wait another 3 months instead of doing something today, we had to wait another 3 months to go through the next submission cycle for our first phase 1.